Zach, last year you came on the Tuesday after rookie minicamp and gave us our first 100,000 view clip. It was on your takeaways from Brown's rookie minicamp in Berea. So let's run it back, Zach. Big takeaways, and who was the most impressive rookie you saw at the Browns' first organized workout of the rookies?
He just set you up for a hot take. Did he come at you before, Black? Listen, we need something, dog.
Right. I just got off the bench cold and have to go shoot a free throw for an injury.
Better knock down this
I'm
corner.
27% free throw shooter in my career. The most interesting rookie is Taylor Green. Who's the most impressive? I don't know. I think Concepcion is really fast, and I think you see why they drafted him. Now, he's not big, and he's got some drop issues, but I think you see why you drafted him. But to me, Taylor Green is the most interesting guy. He's bigger than most everyone except the offensive lineman. He's as fast as Casey Concepcion. He's got a long way to go, but you just really notice him. 6'6" and 230. He could easily pass for 250. Now, his pitch arsenal right now is fastball, 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 and they're not all in the zone. He's got a lot to refine as a passer, but he's a playmaker, and he's a guy that could be in the plans. So if he makes it as a quarterback, we'll see. But if you draft a playmaker in the 6th round, you draft a playmaker in the 6th round. I thought Denzel Boston looks the part. He's long and lean. He's not. I thought he'd maybe be a little thicker. He's got time to do that. But, I mean, when you say what do you want in a receiver on the outside, a legit 6'4", he's a legit 6'4". So I'm going to leave the lineman evaluations for others and for once we see the pads, but to watch Concepcion and Boston move around and watch Taylor Green out there just kind of doing his thing, it's like, okay, these guys are big. And the linemen are big. Austin Barber is a large human, and I think he'll be ready if called upon as a rookie.
When you take a look at this, did you see from their perspective, does it seem like when you watch them, because I watched you watched a little bit of the veteran camp, and you see the guys, the Malachi Corleys out there and guys like that. Is it recognizable, like when you see the rookie class come in, you say, oh, like in the Matrix, like when Neo says, oh, these are upgrades today. We have upgrades.
Yeah, I think just watching Concepcion run, you say, okay, why is that guy a first rounder? Because of that. Just the little cuts in and out to Jets, right? And everybody's just getting comfortable. What I really watch is like 3-4 weeks from now, once they've blended in with the veterans, and most of them have to wait their turn. I don't think that'll be the case with Fano and Concepcion. You really kind of see the growth then. But just watching them run through bags, run through drills out there with their coaches for the first time, it's like, okay, that's not good athleticism. That's top-level explosion from Concepcion.
Everybody knows Green is fairly raw as a passer. But just given his size and his physical traits, why do you think he fell to the 6th round?
Because he's so raw as a passer. I mean, he was a turnover machine in college. When he was running the read option or was running design stuff, it was like, wow, he gets in the open field with those long strides. And he did it for 4 years, too, but he never really progressed as a passer. And I remember sitting at the Senior Bowl, like, hey, this guy's interesting. Like, there's very few guys that are this big and fast. Then you watch him throw, kind of looks like a giraffe swinging a golf club a little bit. So he doesn't fall down, but he can make things happen. So, you'll if he does play, you'll construct an offense around his strengths. But right now, the focus for him is just clean up those mechanics, clean up those fundamentals, and try to get ready to a point.
It's not like this guy played at North Dakota State. He played in the SEC. He played high-level football.
Yeah.
How are his mechanics not better? You know what I mean? Like how
he's not being asked. It's never been a point of concentration. I mean,
because
I'm sure
he's such a good athlete that they just
read option. They also went 2-10 last year. Not that it's his fault. They were a mess.
Yeah, sometimes, you get that's why I always say, development to me is the biggest part of any coaching. It's actually an underrated set, because what happens sometimes is you get a guy like that. He's super athletic, he's 6'6". He has a strong arm. There's a lot of times where you're just trying to figure out during the season, how can I put him in the best position to give ourselves a chance to win?
That's right. Specifically
for today. And if we're playing a team, we're playing Kentucky, and I'm like, well, listen, I don't think that they can deal with him up front, or I don't think that these guys have the ability to keep him corralled. Hey, let's get a lot of developed runs. Let's get some runs and move these sticks. And I think sometimes it's tough because a lot of kids, too, didn't he went to Boise State, right?
2 years as starter at Boise.
He was 2 years as starter at Boise State. So sometimes it's like, okay, you would actually be sitting behind somebody, having to beat somebody out, getting developed. Now it's like, there ain't no sit-out year. If I go to Ohio State and I'm at Ohio State and I ain't win the job and the guy is 1 year or 2 years older than me, I'm leaving.
No. You're right. That is the development. Now, he had to transfer in high school because he was waiting his turn. And then he went to Boise in his second year. They actually benched him for a short amount of time. And I think it was probably proactive. Like, we know this guy's leaving. We're going to play the other kid.
Everything. So the development time is just
finding guys that want to sit and wait and go through that. And so then, of course, he's out there and you're putting him in that offense. Over his 2 years at Arkansas, he had 73 explosive runs, 10 yards or more. So he's a runner. He's not a passer. Can he develop? Does he have all the tools? Does he seem like a great kid who wants to be good? Yes. So they checked all those boxes there, and we'll see. Will he get 3 years? Will he get 3 months? What will he really show? We will find out. But Todd Monken kind of said, like, look, this was important for him here, not only as his introduction, but these are his reps. When the vets come in these next 3 weeks, he's not getting any reps. He's fourth in line. He's a rookie. He's got to wait his turn. So he will eventually get some in the summer, but the way he's going to earn those, is to do the little things, the little mechanic things, excel in the drills, excel in the meetings, and show the coaches that he's willing to make those little strides that he needs to have any chance to be a passer.
What does this mean for Dillon Gabriel?
Immediately nothing, but I don't think Dillon Gabriel's in the plans, and I think it's just kind of how it's gone. Like when I did my post-draft winners and losers article, I didn't put Dillon Gabriel in there. I think it's just the reality. Dillon Gabriel was overdrafted. Dillon Gabriel's not a starting quarterback. So the Browns are going to hold a competition. It's mostly going to be Deshaun versus Shedeur. Is either one of those guys a starting quarterback? Well, we don't really have time for that discussion now. But if a market opens and they can trade Dillon Gabriel, I think they will because he's not in the plans. I think the quarterback room this year is going to be Deshaun, Shedeur, and Taylor Green as a developmental guy. But we'll see because there's just not enough of these guys. And why was Dillon Gabriel drafted where he was? They liked something. Have we seen the reality in 1 year? Probably. But you're not just going to give him away to give him away.
Zach, what'd you make of Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the second-round pick that the Browns considered taking maybe at 24, but definitely at 39 before falling to 58?
Yeah, he's an impressive-looking dude. It's unfair to say he's Kyle Hamilton, but he looks like that. He's that
6'6".
He's 6'3", long.
Oh,
yeah. So where's his best fit? How does he catch on? Where does his team need him? Does he play that linebacker nickel role? Can he cover guys in the slot? Is he going to be a center fielder? We'll see. But just watching him run around, okay. Look at those long arms. He covers a lot of range. He had 9 forced fumbles last year for Toledo.
That is, it's so crazy because you take a look at it. We'll come back next segment. We'll talk about Kenny Moore, a guy who is a name who just got released from the Indianapolis Colts, and we've been looking at a nickel package and talk about maybe if Emmanuel McNeil-Warren can be a dude that can fit into those different packages. I was talking to my dad. I'm like, you think he can start week 1? Ronnie Hickman to me is a very serviceable player. Mm-hmm. I think he's done a great job of making himself a professional player.
He's a great find as an undrafted
free agent. However, if I can upgrade at a position, I can upgrade at a position. Yeah. This guy back there with Grant Delpit looks crazy. Do you think that he has an opportunity to be a guy that could be started?
Yeah, your assessment of Ronnie Hickman is the Browns' assessment of Ronnie Hickman. He hit restricted free agency this year because he entered undrafted, and they gave him the right of first refusal tender, which means they're giving him a flat rate. They allowed him to pursue outside of opportunities. Nobody signed him. The Browns own his rights. He's only under contract for 1 year when he signs. So he hasn't earned that long term. We don't know if he's in the plans. It probably depends on McNeil-Warren. It probably depends on Grant Delpit. It probably depends on how they all fit. But yeah, day 1, assuming Ronnie Hickman signs his tender and is back in camp, he'll be the starter. But October 1, I would say, depending on the fit, I would say McNeil-Warren's probably playing more snaps than he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very interesting one because I don't know. You said something about him playing linebacker or being in those nickel packages. That is a very intriguing thing. If you can get a guy that's 6'3", 6'4" that can move around, and I'm anxious to see him get him in space and see what he actually can do. There's a guy. Somebody asked me about this, and they say, man, when you talk to Zach. There's a guy named Aaron Anderson, right, from LSU. I think his number is 80, but, he was a name I followed, and a lot of people followed in college.
Yeah.
Short route guy, maneuver, he's pretty quick. What are your thoughts on some I'd say undervalued or unknown guys that could possibly be a name.
Yeah, no, he was just a tryout. He wasn't signed.
Yeah.
He showed up in rookie minicamp. He's small.
Yeah.
And so for receivers right now, they only signed one undrafted because they drafted two. Like they have their guys. And the one they signed undrafted is a returner. He's like 5'7". He's smaller than Aaron Anderson. So I would not be stunned to hear Anderson get a name back, and they are going to try to develop guys who can maybe make the practice squad. But their whole focus with rookie receivers is on Concepcion and Boston, and they're expecting them to contribute right away, needing them to contribute right away. So we'll see how it goes with those guys. Like I said, I wouldn't be stunned if he got a call back, but he was just a tryout guy so far.
What do you make of the tight end room? They drafted like 3 or something. Two, and then they signed a bunch of guys in the offseason, free agency wise. We know Harold Fannin. But is there anybody that caught your eye amongst the draft guys and the free agent guys? And what do you think they're doing?
Yeah, I think Carson Ryan, the 7th rounder, has a chance to make the team as the fullback. I think Joe Royer certainly will make the team as long as he has a decent camp. He was a guy that was really productive over his 2 years at Cincinnati. So I'm interested to see how that goes. They did bring a bunch of those guys back. They already cut one, but they have Bates and Whitehart, who are like proven NFL blockers. They wanted to draft a blocking tight end early, and they got beat to it, frankly. A lot of these guys ran. Everybody's running these multiple tight end sets to get teams out from sitting back with their safeties, trying to drag them up and trying to open things up that way. So Harold Fannin is not a tight end to me, and I say that as a compliment, like he's just a weapon. So they want guys who can take tight end snaps and give them the opportunity to move Fannin across the formation.
Well, listen, I'm encouraged by that, Zach, man. Listen, it's funny to talk. We actually just talked a whole 20 minutes about football. We didn't even mention the quarterbacks that much. Look at that, man. That was beautiful, man. I'm sure we'll cut that out.
A week from today it starts, so we got plenty of time to talk quarterbacks.
Yeah. When we get back, we'll kind of dive into it. We mentioned Kenny Moore, a guy that for the Indianapolis Colts. Could it be a name that the Cleveland Browns are looking at? We'll come back and talk about it right here on UCSS.